Alright, so for future reference, I'm not going to say anything that can trigger people or stuff like that, but it was a lot of things that occurred that could trigger people. So we gonna skip past those parts. But before going to stay with my second oldest sister, I actually tried to get in contact and go live with my oldest sister. My oldest sister is not by my mother. This would be the first time I tried contacting her myself. And that opened the door to a whole lot of stuff I did not know about this particular beef. She just snaps on me completely, tells me I'm just a side baby because her dad was married to her mom when I was conceived. How my mother tried to get her mother locked up for a falsified poisoning. That story goes as follows. My second oldest sister was poisoned by my grandmother on my dad's side, and his wife had something to do with it. It was all over the news. Pretty sure my mother still had her cutouts for me being in the newspaper. My grandmother did not get locked up from this. But all this went over my head because I'm hearing now you ain't gonna help me, so I gotta go to the next source. So I called my grandmother on my dad's side. She is the only person on that side of the family that actually had some form of love for me, and one of my aunts on that side. That particular aunt was on the spectrum. This lady could recognize me in the disguise. I don't know how, but she was there. She could see me from a block away. Her story is triggering as well, so I'm not going to touch it. But after reaching out to my grandmother and talking to her, she was like, I love you, but your granddad is not going to want you around. That's because he had a beef with my mother. Because seeing that my dad was married to multiple women, he would always go mess with my mother. Why this man would mess with my mother, I have no clue. But I'm going to skip past that. So now I'm headed out towards Bratner. This is where the apartments were fairly new, but they still had roaches and rats. My second oldest sister was a teen mom of 2. My sister had her first child. My mother was cool with it. But once she got pregnant with the second child, my mother put her out. Me and this sister had a brother and sister normal relationship. I was the little brother. She played pranks on me all the time. I hated it. We genuinely loved each other. Now, one of the reasons why the kidnapping thing really didn't bother me like it messed with some people is because I became used to being abducted and left places. My sister would sneak out every other weekend out of my bedroom window. And I would snitch. She would get in trouble. So to avoid getting in trouble, my sister would take me to the parties with her, completely against my will. So between 7 and 9, I seen a lot of stuff. A lot of my older cousins would do the same thing. If you sneak out and you don't pay me in some form of fashion, I'm snitching. If you beat me up, I'm snitching. If you take me with you, even if it's against my will, I'm still a part of the crime now, so I get punished too. So now I can't say nothing. But anyway, my sister's still being a teen and I'm going to live with her because she got her own apartment. The thing is, she's still a teen. So she still likes going out and stuff. But with your little brother here, he can babysit while you get to go to all the parties that you were missing because you had 2 kids. Now, this was okay in the beginning because I'm watching the kids. I got a place to stay. But at some point, my sister's abusive baby daddy came in the picture. And he didn't like me and I didn't like him. And at the time, I was too young to fight him.